Welcome to Workforce Solutions Cameron. This presentation is about the 10 frequently asked questions in a job interview and what you need to know to effectively answer them. We hope our tips help you excel in your next job interview. Preparing yourself for a bright future starts with job readiness. We will review the questions one by one. Usually, the first question in a job interview goes along the lines of, "Tell me about yourself." So, what do you think would be a good response? Remember, we want to talk about our professional experiences, traits, and skills. We want to keep personal information to a minimum. Unless you think some of the information will help you land the job, we recommend avoiding it. Sharing personal information, including how many children you have, if you are married or not, your favorite color, etc., is not relevant to this professional conversation. Make sure an overview of your professional experience and qualifications shines through. Talking about ourselves is hard to make sure you prepare and practice for this question. At some point in a job interview, your possible future employer will ask, "What are your strengths?" Do not take for granted any of the qualities you possess. Sometimes they seem so natural and ordinary to us that we forget to mention them. We recommend mentioning three of your most impressive and relevant skills. We also recommend following up with a short story where most of these strengths can be highlighted. Another important question that comes along with your strengths is, how will you rate your skills? It is vital that you know how to rate yourself and all your strengths and qualities because you are the only person that knows your capabilities. Make sure you're 100% honest in your response. We don't want any misrepresentations being made. In addition to the question regarding your strengths, they will typically ask you for the dreaded question: what are your weaknesses? To answer this question, we recommend sharing only one weakness. Try to identify a weakness of yours that will not interfere with the job you're applying for. For instance, if you're applying for a customer service job, saying that you lack people skills will significantly reduce your chances. We encourage you to talk briefly about your weakness and share with the interviewer how you're positively working on that weakness. After that, be quiet. With this question, the more you say, the more you can fall into the trap of giving reasons for why they shouldn't hire you. An employer will often want to know your future plans. We encourage you to be honest and positive, realistic and careful. You want to keep your answer relevant to the employer and this job. A short and concise response with medium term goals that relate to your potential new job is ideal. You want to share how this job fits in your own plans of growth and professional development. Be careful with mentioning family, sports, vacations, early retirement, or that you want the interviewer's job. Another question that usually pops up in a job interview is, "Why should I hire you over someone else?" Do not fall into the trap of bringing other candidates down. Your response should focus on your own skills and experiences, but without coming across as an overconfident show off. Your answers should include a thoughtful overview of your qualifications and experience and how they will contribute to the advancement of the company's goals. If you are unsure, prepare a list of bullet points with key information on your professional assets before the interview and practice so you can become familiar with it. Sometimes an interviewer asks, "Why did you leave your last job?" As with other responses, stay honest and positive. If for some reason you left under circumstances that were not ideal, reflect about what you learned from the experience ever since and what you can and should do differently to avoid the same situation in the future. Remember, we don't want to badmouth individuals in your past. It shows maturity to accept responsibility for things not working out and to leverage these experiences to become a better employee in the future. Our next question is another tricky one. What did you dislike about your last job? Be careful and mention something that won't be a problem on the job you are currently applying for. Do not fall into the trap of speaking poorly of past supervisors or coworkers. Provide a brief answer and then be quiet. Another important question that is sure to show up in a job interview is, what will your last boss say about you? We encourage you to bring up the things that you did right. Most of us take these for granted, but it is important to state them clearly. This can be tricky if you left on a bad note with your supervisor, but know this: the hiring manager knows that they will get more information from you than anyone else, so be careful with how much you share. We have arrived to the last question. Why do you want this job? If you haven't thought about why this job is a good fit for you from the perspective of your skills and requirements of the job, then you won't be able to answer the question. The interviewer is interested in knowing that you want the job because you can do what the employer needs to be done, and because the job can give you what you need to be satisfied and productive at work. Avoid sounding desperate by saying things like, I really need this job. Thank you for your time. At Workforce Solutions Cameron, we are here to help. Let us know if you have any questions about the job interview process. We hope our tips make you more comfortable and ready to your next job interview. Good luck.